Welcome to the I Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Doveston and it is wonderful to have you here. Our first full weekly episode for September, for the week commencing the 5th of September 2022. So have you watched September's overview, all about the deliverance and the dispersing of locked old issues, of challenges that we face? The opportunity is to be free of it at last, thank goodness. So if you have not yet done so, go and watch September, make a couple of notes on things that you can focus on for the month, and let's see what we can do to unravel that in this month together. So last week we had breakthrough, Hexagram 43, we had great pressure, Hexagram 28, we had stress, we had growth, we had creative energy pushing us through the eye of the needle, and the decision to part with the past, to make a resolute decision and take action. But also being warned that in an area where we're wanting to lead, we don't yet have the power and we should not be led by the foot. So what was that for you? What did that mean? What breakthroughs were you able to make? What decisions did you make that you've been procrastinating over for ages? Okay, and what pressure came to you that challenged you to change the way you deal with stress in your life? So this week, what are we asked to pay attention to? Our first hexagram we have is hexagram 25, Innocence, also known as disentangling, which is my favorite name for this hexagram. So let's paint a picture. All right. When we are a child, okay, we look at our life, we look at the world with open eyes and an open heart, and we see things as they are, okay? Out of the mouth of babes, they just say it like it is, with no filters. All right. And as we go in life, we put layers and layers and layers of conditioning. We have issues from our past. We are dealing with issues that happened in the playground when we were youngsters. And we get all these memories and associations and hooks that start bundling together, making our memories and our beliefs and our habits and our ingrained ways of thinking and relating to others in our world. And as the saying goes, nerves that fire together, wire together. And so over time, we get these conduits, these kind of deep gouges in our thinking where we just can't help it. We just automatically think in a particular way. We don't see the situation for what it is, okay? Whether that's our issues related to money, okay, or our issues related to betrayals or abandonment or, commitment, or there are an infinite amount of things that you might be dealing with as your little ruts, okay? Your nerves that fire together, that are wired together. And so this week, this idea of disentangling is about unraveling some of those nerve clusters, okay? We want to get back to the innocence of the child who sees the situation for what it is without all the complexity, and it's clear what the opportunity is and that it should be taken. If we are able to disentangle ourselves from our complications, our own overcomplications, right? We can see things and take the moment, seize the day, because we can see this is what it is. I need to take this opportunity. I need to go for it. If we are caught up and trussed up in our own complicated thinking, we are too slow, we cannot react, and we cannot see the opportunity for what it is. So this week, something is trying to bring you an unexpected insight, an unexpected opportunity, okay? This can be the unexpected pregnancy, symbolically speaking. And so if we are ready, if we are disentangled, if we are open to the unexpected, open to seeing things as they are, rather than forcing things to be in boxes, we can seize the moment. We can deal with the unexpected in a better way, okay? And so this week, we are being challenged to look into our illusions, our delusions, our drive to make things complicated, to be clever, and force situations and solutions from a mental clever point of view, as opposed to, is that right? Is that good? Is that the truthful way to move forward? And so wherever we are stuck, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is going to bring us a flow to wake us up to where we are too tightly bound to old static ways of thinking. So, interesting. I have two changing lines for this week in the 2nd and the 5th position. Okay, in the 2nd position, this changing line, if we could put it into a phrase or an idea, is a season to sow and there's a season to reap. and you don't do both in the same season. So we don't plow the fields and we are already trying to harvest what the fields will yield, right? Or clear the land and already thinking about the plants that will grow from that land. What we do is we give that cycle of time what it's due, what its focus is. And this week, there's something where we are feeling challenged to, maybe after a bit of success, something has happened and something has suddenly clicked into place. And now we just want to go great guns, right? We want to go, we are seeing the trees and the fruit popping out of the trees, and we have only just started plowing. Okay, so there's that process, that energy of just bide your time, just relax, okay? It's coming, the time to act, the time to get those, seeds into the ground and the fruit onto, the trucks off to the market. That'll come. What we're doing is we're plowing and we're clearing now, okay? So just be content to do that for now and not try and race ahead and try and force a future outcome when it's not that time, okay? There's a season to sow and there's a season to reap, and we don't do both in the same season. It's coming. Just hang back a little bit this week. Our next changing line in the 5th position is a very interesting one, and we have had it before. And it says something comes unexpectedly into your life. Okay, a problem. Poof. And of course, this hexagram 25, Innocence, is about the unexpected. Okay, unexpected things. So here's something that's landed with us. Okay, what we might do if we are entangled in our own complexity of knee-jerk reactions to things, okay? What we might do is try and race off and treat the problem. But is it ours? Is it ours to solve? Has it landed on our feet because it's part of our consciousness and part of something we've created, that we've manifested this problem? Or is this somebody else's issue? Okay, if it's not yours, don't treat it with medicine, okay? So the whole idea behind this is that if something has arrived, is not treated with medicine. In other words, an external balm, an external solution to try and fix this problem. Just let it sit and simmer and it will solve itself. So what this is going to do, if you can follow this advice, and it's evidential for you this week, it's going to prevent you from getting involved in trying to fix something that's not yours and trying to lose your energy and getting all entangled in a situation that's not yours to get entangled in. Okay, so if a situation lands with you this week, don't assume it's your stuff. Just sit back and say, let me just unpack this a little bit. Let me understand on a deeper level what is really going on here. Where did this come from? Why is this here? And if it's not yours and doesn't belong with you and it's not part of your process and your journey, just let it sit, because it's going to solve its problem because it's not yours. Okay, no rescuing this week, please. Okay, so those are our changing lines. Our second hexagram for this week is 38, opposition. Okay, oil and water. Okay, the two sisters. Oil and water, can never, ever meet except if they are emulsified. I've used this example of making mayonnaise. You've got the egg and you've got the oil, and the egg binds the vinegar to the oil, and so there's this emulsification that makes something new. Now, recently I read something about this hexagram that was really powerful for me, and I hope that it will be for you. When we face opposition, in other words, two parties who can't agree on something, what we don't try and do is try and win, okay? Because what we've got is essentially an opposition, all right? Two opposite views, right? Which might be two diverging interests that can't be resolved. We've got to deal with, is it really about, we are actually so opposite and so different in the situation, we can't get them to work together, okay? We can't find a solution, and therefore it would be better to part ways? Or is this something that we are honor bound or should take up as a way of finding a solution? And usually it is finding that emulsification is actually the path of growth that we're being called to work with. And so the way that we do that is we go into the shadow, okay? What that means is that in finding a solution, in turning this conflict into creative tension, okay, an emulsified two people, two ideas, two ideologies married together, emulsified together, we do that by going into the shadow, okay? And we go into what is underneath the surface. What is the darkness that's sitting there, the issues, the complexities, the people dynamics that are sitting underneath the surface? And we work there and we build up our creative emulsification by resolving it in the shadow. Okay. We don't resolve it in the external, I'm right, you're wrong, and we cannot find a way forward. So for us, likely this week, someone doesn't agree, okay? Or you are a mediator and you have two people or two situations in front of you that are oil and water, and you've got to try and help. Or maybe you've been asked to help overcome the situation, right? Or you are one of these parties that is now misunderstood and you don't understand the other person. What do? We go into the shadow. We look underneath and we delve under the hood, okay, for what is sitting underneath, and we bring that into the light, and by doing that, we emulsify. Okay, so it may be that you accept oil and water are never going to mix in the situation and it's time's up, right? Or let's find a solution by going into the shadow. Interesting week, all right? Innocence, disentangling, opposition, two very interesting changing lines. One says, if it's not yours, don't bring medicine to it, okay? The other one saying, it's maybe not time to harvest fruit when you're only plowing, okay? Be patient, it'll come. So an interesting week for us to work with, and I hope it brings you lots of insight and lots of guidance in dealing with an old issue in a new way, or an old pattern in a new way. Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Looking forward to seeing you back here again. I'll see you on the socials, and I look forward to seeing you soon at our next weekly overview.